Hello, it's Lisa Dickey from Dickey's Cooking School, and I'm going to show you how to make a Kale Caesar. So why would you use kale instead of romaine lettuce? Well, you'd use it for two reasons. Number one, it's way healthier, way more nutrients in leafy, deep green kale. And also, Kale Caesar will actually last a little bit longer. The leaves are way more hardy. And in fact, these leaves can actually take a bit of a beating and you kind of want to break them down. Okay, so this is a salad. You could actually make this salad and actually use it for 2 days because the leaves are so sturdy. And a traditional Caesar is made with romaine lettuce, and when you dress it, basically after a few hours, it's not very good. Now, speaking of traditional Caesar, when I make Caesar at home and I'm gonna eat it immediately, I use a combination of olive oil, cider vinegar, lemon juice, and I actually add an egg, a raw egg into it. Now, some people are disgusted by that. Some people don't eat eggs. Anyway, if you're making this for a lunch to bring to school, absolutely do not dress it with raw egg. Raw egg at room temperature for hours is inviting food poisoning into your body, and you will regret it a lot, okay? No raw egg unless you have access to a fridge. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a little overview on how to cut. You want to cut your kale. You wanna get that spine out. It's really, really woody and thick. It's not nice to eat. We're gonna discard that. Then you're just gonna cut your kale into nice bite-sized pieces so you're not like jamming a big sheet of kale into your mouth while you're eating, okay? So that's just gonna set aside. The next step is garlic. Okay, now how much garlic is going to depend on how much you like. I love garlic, and so I'm probably a little heavy-handed with it. So I'm going to say 2, maybe 3 cloves, going to be a lot, okay? That's going to give you more than enough, so I'm going to stick to 2 today. Now, how do you cut garlic? Well, here you notice the garlic's got this skin on it, right? You want to get that skin off. The easiest way is to just use your palm and push it hard, okay? It doesn't matter if it smashes and flattens because it's going to be chopped up anyway. This little end piece here, that's just part of the stem. Let's get that off. We don't want that. So we're going to give this a little mince, and then we're going to get going. Okay, here's our garlic. We're just going to chop that down, and then just give it. So we've got your knife here. We've got a nice big knife here. I'm right-handed. My right hand's going to be the chopper. My left hand is just going to be used on top to set up. We're not using a lot of strength to chop this garlic. We're just going to regather and chop it up. How finely you chop it is totally up to you. Some people really don't like a big chunk of garlic. Like I said, I love garlic, so a big chunk doesn't bother me in the least, but I'm going to chop it down a little bit. This is a dressing too. If you made this the night before and let it just sit in the fridge, that means the oil and the dressing is gonna get really infused with garlic. But you don't have to, you can make it the same day. Now, while we're making the dressing, I wanted to talk about our salad. So we have kale and we've got oil and vinegar and a bit of Parmesan cheese. So we've got our veg covered for sure with a salad, and we have our fiber covered with, again, this same kale. What we don't have is protein. So to this salad, you could add, if you had a couple of pieces of roasted chicken left over from dinner, a little bit of steak if you had that left over, you could add some tofu to it. You could also add a boiled egg, which is really quick. Just put it in a pot of water and boil it up for 5 minutes. Cool it off before you take the shell off because it gets pretty hot. And that's a really quick, easy lunch. Think of a protein that you eat, that you'll actually eat, and then add that to it, and then you've got a beautiful balanced lunch. Okay, our dressing. We're gonna add, this is about, I'm gonna say 3 cups of kale. So I'm gonna say we're gonna go with 1/3 of a cup. Again, if this dressing doesn't have egg in it, it can stay in your fridge. It's not gonna go bad. Okay, so you can make a lot and then just keep adding to it. What if you don't wanna make dressing? Well, you don't have to. Get a bottle of your favorite Caesar dressing and dump it on, and you're gonna have lunch in less than 10 minutes ready. Okay, so I'm gonna add, so that's 80 mils. So again, when you're making a dressing, it's, your oil is 3 times the amount of your sour or your acid, okay? So I'm gonna add a full tablespoon, that's 15 mils. And then I'm gonna squeeze some lemon juice. So I'm just gonna take the top off the lemon. I'm gonna look for, I don't think there's any seeds in there. Squeeze that in. Okay. You could also add to this a little bit of a dash of hot sauce, Tabasco, if you like it. I'm gonna keep it really simple and easygoing today. I'm gonna add a little bit of pepper. I'm gonna throw in a little bit of salt. And I'm gonna give that a nice whisk. So just so we're clear, so we had 80 mils of oil, and between the top of the lemon and the tablespoon of cider vinegar, that's about a third. That was pretty close to 30 mils, like 25 mils. Okay, so that's all mixed in. Here comes our Parmesan. I'm gonna put some in the dressing, and I'm gonna save some to put on top of the salad. Smooth that around. And again, if you wanted to beat an egg into that, I love that. You could also add anchovies if that's something that you love. I do love them. Kids in my house do not. That's why I didn't really do a hard suggestion on that. Pour this on top. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, what about bacon? Well, I love bacon. I'm not knocking it, but I'm gonna let you know on the sad truth. Bacon is not even really considered, it's not a significant source of protein. If you look at Canada's Food Guide, it's considered an other. So it's not really meat. It is meat, but it's not really any protein. So you can add bacon, but it's not gonna satisfy your protein, okay? We're gonna give this a little toss, and it is ready to go. And we have delicious Caesar. Because you're using your kale, when you toss it aggressively. It can take a punch, and it should. You wanna break it down a bit. I'll toss it and I'll show you what it looks like. Caesar. This is a good 2-day salad. It'll hold up for 2 days easily. When you dress it, you're gonna dress it roughly. You wanna kind of break it down and it'll absorb all of that great dressing. Play around with the dressing. You can add different things to it. Play with it, whether you use wine vinegar or maybe try a little bit of balsamic. Anyway, you've got this, you've got your veg, you got your fiber. All you need is some protein. Top it with chicken or maybe even serve it alongside a delicious little mini phyllo quiche. Yummo. Enjoy. Bye.